Hi all, welcome back to the Sprucegate Modeling. Today we will be painting a BMW R35 motorcycle. This one is from Tamiya. Here we'll be starting off with a black primer and a dark, Panzer Gray base coat. Pretty obvious thing. This should hit all painted metal parts, and it doesn't really matter. You could spray this. I've decided to brush paint it. I'm doing this for a little vignette, and I'm trying to do all brush painting for it as a bit of a challenge. So here it's all done. And I'm going to add some lighter gray highlights to some of the raised surfaces and edges. The nice thing about this model is that it's pretty fluid. There's not a whole ton of sharp edges, which makes the highlighting pretty easy and look really nice when you're done. So now, yeah, that looks pretty good. We'll be adding a black wash on the whole thing, tone it down a bit, blend the colors together, and bring out some detail. This will subdue the highlights, so we'll have to redo those a little later, but there we go. So, now I'm going to be taking a really dark gray. I use it in place of black. I just find it easier to shade. And I'm going to be putting it on all rubber bits and unpainted metal bits. So that's handlebars, tires, and this one has a bag on the side, so I'm painting the clasps with this. Those might get covered up later because I'm yet to paint the bag, but we can always just redo that. So now I'm going to redo those highlights like I said I would, because they got really covered up by the wash and I didn't really like it. So redid those. Now we're going to be painting the base of fabric. So that is the seats and the bag. I'm using leather brown. This one's from the Army Painter, not Vallejo, but I'm pretty sure it's very, very similar to a lot of Vallejo colors. You can just use whatever medium brown you'd like. So yeah, just base coat this. Don't overspill. It'll look really weird if you overspill because this looks so different than the rest of the model. So there we go. I'm now going to be adding some highlights, German Camo Pale Brown. As you can see there, hit raised surfaces. The seats were a little difficult, so I just kind of dry brushed them. But on this, on the bag, I'm doing it a little bit more intentionally. So now yeah, you can see there I overpainted on the buckles. I've also added some white for the license plate. It's not that neat, but it'll be fine because I need to weather it and everything, and I'm trying to hand paint them because I lost the decals. But I'm going to be taking a burnt umber oil wash, and I'm going to be going back over all the fabric. Should be good. Really bring out some of the depth there. So now it is time to paint a little box in front of the thing. I'm not sure what it is, but it should be painted with German Camo dark green, and then I'm going to highlight it with, I think this one was uniform green. It's a bit of a bright highlight, but again, weathering should tone that down. So there we go. Looking pretty good. I've also added some of the numbers, or tried to. It's really smudged and not great. But, better than nothing. I'm going to be taking a sponge, and I'm going to be doing some really light chipping with really dark brown. So now it's on to weathering. I'm taking a black pigment and a burnt umber pigment for my weathering. Black pigment goes on the engine block and the exhaust, the mufflers, all that, and the brown pigment goes on anything you really want. So last stage of weathering, I'm going to be taking some gunmetal paint, and I'm going to be painting all the clasps as well as doing some chipping. So here's the completed thing. It's pretty lightly weathered. I did that intentionally so you can add any weathering that you want to add. I'm actually pretty happy with this for a really quick paint, but, looks pretty good. All right, thank you so much for watching. Next time will be the figures for this motorcycle. Bye.